Hello, nice to meet you. How are you? I am Nishikawa, the presenter of this program. You are going to have a training course in Japan. Are you ready for departure? Training of Japan International Cooperation Agency in Japan consists of various coursework. One of the important coursework you are going to have is making and presenting an action plan. This program will show you what to prepare in your countries before your training in Japan, in order to help you make your action plan smoothly. Generally, JICA training courses consist of three major phases, which are the preliminary phase in home country, the core phase in Japan, and the finalization phase after returning to your countries. The core phase consists of various coursework, such as lectures, observations, exercises, and workshops. JICA asks you to make and present your action plan at the end of the core phase as a summary of your ideas about how to introduce the knowledge and tips you have acquired in Japan into development activities in your country. You are expected to take concrete actions based on the action plan in the finalization phase after returning to your country. The action plan is required to be feasible in your country. For this reason, you should correct the following information beforehand. 1. Background information. 2. Current condition. 3. Issues. 4. Existing framework of any governmental program or project. Now, let me show you an actual scene from an action plan presentation. This is a scene from an action plan presentation at a JICA training course. The course title is Economic Development Promotion by Local Government in Malawi. The training course is taking place about 1,000 kilometers from Tokyo, and the action plan presentation is carried out using a TV conference system connecting the training site with JICA headquarters in Tokyo.
In terms of project management, leadership skills.
The participants are divided into two groups to make presentations.
These free markets will
municipality, there's the mayor.
And to what extent do you introduce?
The participants worked hard to make their action plans. First, they analyzed the problems their organizations were facing. Then, set up objectives and targets to solve the problems.
the community and the community leaders to be equipped.
And finally, made action plans.
Non-state actors, it's not sustainable.
They had in-depth discussions and worked till late at night. Here are action plans they made. After this action plan presentation, many participants said, I should have studied in advance much more about the development plan of my country, and I need more knowledge about the organizational structure, problem, and issues of my country. Thus, we would recommend you to collect sufficient information and materials in your countries before you're coming to Japan. For example, it will be helpful for you to bring the collected information in forms of CD-ROM, USB memory stick, or printed material. Now, let me introduce 2 points regarding information collection. The first is to study about the development plans of your own country. For example, development plans of the national government or your sector. The second is to make a list of current problems, which means a list of issues your organization and department are facing in implementing the development plan. This list allows you to properly understand the current situation of your department or organization and the directions to pursue. Is there anybody who has difficulty in finding issues? What is an issue? I will now show you one of the ways to identify an issue. According to one definition, an issue means the gap between the targeted conditions and the current conditions. Collect the related information and sort them into these 2 categories, and then compare them. Any gap between the targeted conditions and the current conditions is an issue. Please make an issues list in this way. Now, let me talk about the preliminary report you require to prepare before coming to Japan. The report is, for example, an inception report, a country report, or a pre-training report. A preliminary report includes the current situation of the country and organization in question, information on your own daily work, and so on. It is also useful particularly for an action plan making. So please talk with your colleagues and try to make a report as detailed as possible. Lastly, let us summarize what was explained. At the end of the core phase of JICA trainings, participants are required to make and present action plans as a summary of what they have learned in Japan and how they will utilize it in the activities to take in their country. It is necessary to collect information before coming to Japan. There are 2 points for preparatory information collection. 1. To understand well the development plans in one's own country. 2. To make a list of issues which are current problems. The preliminary report prepared before coming to Japan will be useful particularly for an action plan making. How did you find my explanation? Did it help you understand necessary preparation in your country before coming to Japan? I hope your training in Japan will be enjoyable and fruitful. See you again!